The idea of the mural concept developed from my visiting at the first time to the Australian bakery, and visiting that shop had a beautiful, great long brick wall which I thought took me back to Aboriginal culture and rock art, which is found all over Australia, and it was the way that we always told our stories. I think it's really great to be able to share with the world Aboriginal culture. We're only a small number of people, so the more that we can link to others around the world and other cultures, I think is really important for all human beings.
I didn't want to just have an artist come over and do the mural. I really wanted to have make it a community project, make the community feel that the painting and part of that wall was part of them.
The Aboriginals, they used to use their hands to make symbols as well. So this is part of Aboriginal culture.
It is the community, it's the sharing of ideas, you know, and that's something that really blended into the idea of an Aboriginal mural. And also it's a great way we could educate the people of Atlanta, the people of East Atlanta, about Aboriginals and about, you know, what their culture has done for the world.
As an artist, I always maybe see the possibilities of how I might bring some of my artwork to that side. Included in the design is handprints, which is takes us back to before settlement and back to the rock art, where Aboriginal people always placed handprints as part of their imagery.
In Aboriginal religion, we all believe that we're part of the earth, that the earth and us are together.
So many great lessons to be learned from how the Aboriginals, you know, lived and the way that they were so in touch with the earth, and I think that's a good message for any community.
When we put our handprints on the wall, at home we do them on rock walls. And when you put your hand onto the wall, it means that you are part of that rock. It means that you're part of the earth.
Australian Aboriginal culture, it's one of the most ancient cultures in the world, and when we see in this work here the handprint usage in the artwork, now that would be found in Australia in some of the oldest artwork that exists anywhere on the planet.
The old way for us to do it, we always crushed ochre. We would add water to it, place it in our mouths, and then put our hand up and then blow as a stencil.
These are ochre. These are all the different coloured ochres that I've collected. This is considered a very sacred element.
This time we're going to be using spray cans, much easier.
Expect a ton more handprints tomorrow.
Oh good, that's great. You can see and all the children's way, you know.
It's nice when people in the existing community and the newcomers can engage in a process like this, which really is about sharing cultures and understanding how to respect one another. The kids have learned all about Aboriginal history and Pamela Croft's personal experience, how it relates to what they've learned about Aboriginal history. Today's the day where it sort of all comes together.
Do you want to dip one hand in at a time? Okay? And then once you dip it, that's it. Excellent. Take them off.
Take your license. I mean, nice. We want large kind of. Because then in between all those animals go spirit figures tomorrow.
Okay.
I've chosen figures that are similar to rock art figures that you would find in Australia, but I've tried to gently change them so they become very contemporary figures. They are spirit figures as well as figures that describe children and adults.
We're doing Australia, and so right now we're making this area of the wall into a grid.
Just been a really good experience, you know, meeting new people and finding out about Pamela and her history and the Aboriginal people and what they've had to go through.
I'm part of the stolen generation, so I found it very hard to tell that story.
My mum was a young woman of 17 when she found herself pregnant with me. My father was a white fella.
The government decided that they would take away Aboriginal children that had a white parent and then put them into another English family.
The government did this to assimilate half-caste children into white English society.
The stolen generation did happen because of the colour of people's skin. Being taken from my family actually took me 40 years to come to terms with. And it's only like since I was 45 that I became healed and happy in my heart and my soul.
So I found that for myself it's been a very healing kind of process. So I use art as a healing tool as well as an educational tool.
I think I've gotten more out of it for myself than I've given to it. And just participating in a project like this for the community and meeting new people and just seeing the happiness that it's bringing and the conversations that people are having, it's just been a really good experience.
I like people to realise that there are many differences, but at the same time as human beings we have lots of similarities, that I think we should be rejoicing in diversity rather than being scared of it. I think we should acknowledge and rejoice in the fact that we all eat different foods, we speak different languages, we wear different clothing, and we have different religions, and that those can actually all live together in peace.